Good morning, traders. It is Sunday, September the 24th, 2023. I want to go over our past week's performance, actually the past 3 weeks' performance, and delve into the numbers a little deeper today. This might be a little bit of a longer video, but hopefully it will give you the insight that you need to find whether one or all of our strategies can be beneficial to you. So let's jump into it. Okay, so as I mentioned, this might be a little bit longer of a performance video review for you because number one, it goes back over our last 3 weeks. I've been reticent again in getting the videos out on a weekly basis. I apologize for that. But maybe more importantly, I want to delve into the numbers a little bit deeper and hopefully give you enough insight that you can have enough confidence in certain setups or certain strategies or certain trades that you will get involved in those strategies and you will hopefully gain the same results that we've been gaining. So that's the goal here. We always try to be as absolutely transparent as we can. I find it shocking that we still get a lot of individuals that love our program, love our trading community, not because the fact that we're making millions of dollars a day, because that's not true. It's the fact that we document everything that we do. Every single trade, good, bad, or indifferent, gets time-stamped and archived and documented. So there is never any question as to whether or not our numbers are real. And I never knew there was another way to do it. I didn't know that people were out there just cherry-picking trades and showing you the winners and hiding the losers. But apparently that happened. So anyway, wanted to talk a little bit about rates of return and the ideas behind them. So one of the sayings that's always stuck with me is that figures lie and liars figure. There are so many ways to twist and turn and bend a statistical number, and you can kind of make it look however you want it to look. And I think that happens in trading as well. Now, there are 3 primary ways that people will show you what the result of their trade is. The first way is with a win-loss ratio. And we do this every week, okay? We did 10 trades, 8 were winners, 2 were losers. It's something that we focus on a lot on our Tuesday, Thursday scalping sessions, the win-loss ratio. How many trades did you do? How many of those were winners and how many of those are losers? Now, this is an important statistic because we can calculate on most credit type trades what the probability of profit is. If you're doing a debit trade or you're doing a directional trade, we don't know what the potential of that underlying is. But when you do a credit trade, you can look at deltas and you can look at standard deviations and you can say, okay, statistically this trade should work 65% of the time, 87% of the time, whatever it is. So the win-loss ratio is an important number because it tells us if your results are matching up with what the strategy should be providing you, okay? But of course, everything has an upside and a downside. The downside to win-loss ratios is that it doesn't really tell you if you're making money. It tells you whether the strategy is working, but it doesn't tell you how well you are doing at managing the risk of those particular trades. And I think if you have ever traded high probability iron condors, you can build an iron condor at a 90% probability of success. You know that system almost never works. You can actually go make 100 trades with 90 of them being winners, only 10 of them being losers, and your account value is going down because those 10 losers are much bigger than the 90 winners. So the win-loss ratio, it's an important number. we talk about our win-loss ratio, and you'll see it here in just a second. We'll go through all of our trades with a win-loss ratio approach every week, but it's not the end-all be-all. Okay, it doesn't really show you how much actual money you're putting, how much many dollars you're putting in your pocket, or whether you are or not. But it's an important statistic. The second way that people talk about their results is just simply the money. You know, it's just simply how many dollars did I make? You know, how much cash did I bring in? Now, again, there's no panacea. Everything has a pro and a con. If I told you that I made $100,000 a week, on the surface, of course, that sounds really impressive. But if I failed to tell you that I was trading $20 million, now all of a sudden it doesn't look so impressive, right? So anytime somebody tells you that I made X amount of dollars, unless they're tying that to the amount of capital that they're putting at work to generate that dollar amount, it doesn't matter. And I hate this. I see this all the time on the internet and on Twitter and you name it. We made 20 grand today. I made 10 grand today. Okay. That number means nothing to me unless I know how much capital you put to work to generate those dollars amounts. But it's still an important number because ultimately at the end of the day, this is what we pay our bills with. And your win-loss ratio can be great, but if you're not really bringing in any money, then what's the point of it all, right? So again, it's not the end-all be-all, but it is an important number. One of the statistics that I think has maybe a little bit more upside than downside, again, nothing is a panacea, but one of the statistics that I think is maybe more meaningful for people is your percentage rate of return. And the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, measures that through what they call APR. So whether it's a bank loan or a credit card interest amount that you're paying or a return on an investment, they take whatever you made today, this week, this month, and they annualize it. Okay, and that allows you to compare investments side by side, which is a better trade. A trade that makes you 5% in one day, or a trade that makes you 45% in a year. Well, obviously 45% is more than 5%, but if you annualize the 5% trade, you would see over a year, if you could replicate that strategy successfully, you'd actually make more. So APR is, again, it's not the end-all be-all, but it is what the Federal Trade Commission says is the most accurate way to measure results. So I like them all. I like to use them all. We show every single week our win-loss ratios, and then at the end of each year, we go through each one of our trading strategies and we calculate the APR on it. How much, what was the rate of return annualized for that whole entire year? So those are videos that are very anticipated because everybody wants to see, yeah, you did this strategy all year long. Where did you end up with it? So we're, still a few months out, obviously, from the end of the year, but I'm excited to go through those with you guys on each of our individual strategies. But one of the things that I have shied away from talking about a lot is the dollar amount. How much money did you make? And the reason that I do that is because I prefer talking about percentage returns. I always tell the story when I got started with one of my first mentors. I had been able to scrape together about $4,000 to trade. He had $400,000. And so I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just following along with him, and, he would build the trade and I would follow. And we would have a successful trade. We'd make 10% on a trade. And, or maybe even 1% on a trade, but he would make, $4,000 on a trade. I would make $40. And he'd jump up and down and high five me and say, how great it was. And I would say, look, $4,000 for you. Yeah, that's great. But $40 for me, I can't even buy us both lunch. And he would stress this. He would say, you had the exact same success as I had. You were just putting smaller amounts of money at work. So, focusing on percentage returns, if you don't have millions of dollars, And you want to keep that optimism of, can I ever become financially independent with this? I think maybe focusing on your percentage returns can be helpful. So that's what I wanted to get into a little bit today, talk about all three of these. Now, very quickly, I will run through our win-loss ratios for all of our strategies. And I want to make note here for you, if you are following the videos that I put up on the YouTube channel, I'm going to put up a video here in the next few days on each one of our strategies and what's the consistency rate? What's the likelihood of this trade working? What is our average rate of return on the profits? What is our average loss on the losers? So that you can get a little bit, again, better understanding of these trades. But of course, one of the trades that is very popular, probably the most popular, is the 0 DTE trade. And even though this past week for us was a little bit of a struggle, I'm still very proud of our 0 DTE results. We build our 0 DTEs every day so that we have a realistic shot of making $1,000 a day. Doesn't always happen. There's no guarantees. But there are so many people out there trading butterflies, which they're going to talk about this. If somebody's trading a butterfly, this is what they're going to talk about. Oh, we made 300% today. We made 400% today. They will never talk about this because nobody's making any real money trading butterflies. There is no real profit in trading butterflies. You're not going to make $1,000 a day trading butterflies. I'm telling you right now. They're great trades. They have a place. We use them every week in our trading, but they're ridiculous for 0 DTE trading. You're not going to make any real money on them, okay? Was that harsh enough? We're very proud of the amount of money we can make on our 0 DTEs. We're very proud of this. Been a good trade for us. Our 4 DTE trades have been a lot better for us as of late. By adding in a zebra to start those trades off, we've had some nice winners there. It's a little bit easier trade than a 0 DTE. You don't have to stare at it as much. Makes it a little bit easier to trade with. Our IWM Millionaire Maker trade, very excited about this trade this year. We are trading it a little bit more dynamically. You can see that last year, for every week that we had that we could trade this strategy, we only did one trade. You can see this year we've had 33 total opportunities to trade and 48 actual trades. So we're dynamically in there each week adjusting those strikes. Our goal was to boost the return on that by maybe from 1% a week to 1.10 to 1.3%. You don't think that's a lot, but that's 30% a week, potentially bumping our income goals. We're on track this year, once again, to make more than a 50% return, APR, this year on that trade. Knock on wood, we have not had a losing trade in the IWM Millionaire Maker setup. We do it every week. We haven't had a losing trade with that potential setup in over 4 years. It'll come at some point, but you want to talk about consistency. This is consistency. We're in one rolled position right now. We've rolled out to Monday on one position. Pairs trades are fantastic. We just booked another 10% profit on one and a 4.7% profit on another. We had a long-suffering IWMQ pairs trade that finally came into the profit zone. But this is a trade, again, that we scale into. It's a big part of how we trade. And I would say if you're looking from a risk-reward standpoint, there's probably not a better trade than a pairs trade. How many trades do you know of that you can trade that are not dependent on what the stock market does? The market could crash, have an absolute black swan. Just absolute crash tomorrow, does not affect a pairs trade. It's pretty cool to trade stocks in a setup that it doesn't matter what the market does. It's simply an arbitrage play between two different stocks. So that's been a great trade for us. It's really, it's tough to beat a trade. Every one of these that we have done, all 30 of these trades that we are in or have been in, have made on average between 2 and 10% returns in a month or two. So really good rates of return. We had a couple of these. One was 1.1, one was 1.3. but most of them are between 2 and 10% returns in a very short period of time, and you can put a small amount of capital on them. They've been good. Bear market strategy has been obviously great as of late. I love trading to the downside. You know, the old saying, the market takes the stairs up and the elevator down. The big moves are usually to the downside. And of course, we've been blessed as of the last 2 or 3 weeks with a market that has been moving to the downside. I just love, it's my favorite trade. Trading the markets to the downside is my favorite trade. I think that if you're looking for, you know, we've traded a couple of companies that were going bankrupt. How easy do you need your trades to be? How easy is it to find a stock that's still at $5 a share that just declared Chapter 11 bankruptcy and in their filing says there's no equity available for the stockholders, meaning that stock's going to zero? I mean, how easy do you need your setup to be? They've been great trades for us. Just been absolutely great trades. We talk about creating an edge or an advantage in your trading. This is a way to do it. Stock market millionaire trades, same thing. We've been using PayPal and Netflix on this. We are in one roll. We do have one roll right now going on with PayPal, but that's been a solid return for us as well. Positive Vega DIA ladders. This is probably the favorite trade in our trading room right now. We had a little bit of struggles in rolling these back in November of last year, but these have just been fantastic. They've been absolutely fantastic for us. Averaging about 9 to 12% a month return on this every single month this year. And it's been a really easy trade to trade. That'll change, of course, at some point. Our portfolio margin strategy, we are not quite through the month of September yet, but I think we'll have a pretty solid month here. And again, if you're not familiar with the portfolio margin strategy, I'm going to put up a separate video about that. That's a higher level trading system. It takes about $300,000 to generate this. But we had a tough month last month, having a good month this month. And should be, I think, close to $35,000 of income coming in on that overall system over about a 3.5 month period of time. Scalping has been fantastic for us. Absolutely fantastic. We've switched scalping on Tuesdays and Thursdays to using the Qs, and it has upped our success rate. It has lowered the amount of buying power that we have to put into the trade. It has increased our ROI on the trade. It's easier to trade. We're doing 4 to 7 trades a day instead of 100 trades a day. Been fantastic, and our goal is to put $500 to $1,000 into your pocket profit every single scalping session. And if you back that off to half, which is 500, I think most people, if you could say, hey, we have a system that pretty consistently can give you the ability to put $1,000 total in your pocket every week. We spend a couple hours every Tuesday, a couple hours every Thursday. Most people would say, okay, I understand there's no guarantees, but that seems pretty, that seems like something I should be interested in. So scalping has been off the charts. We've loved the new Qs set up there. Dragonflies and double diagonals. We are using zebras inside of our 40 ETEs now, and I probably need to change the nomenclature there, but we have been doing dragonflies on BA on Boeing. We've done 2 in the last 3 weeks. They've both been profitable and not quite full profits, but still profitable. Theta Ferry, we did take a couple more losses in the Theta Ferry, and I think that the takeaway on the Theta Ferry is don't be afraid to take the losses. We're looking for $100 a day profit on the Theta Ferry, and we set a stop loss at $300 maximum risk. And you can see with a trade, I don't know what the win rate on that is, but it's pretty darn high, right? 164 trades with 159 winners. You don't, and you need 3 days. You need 3 successful days to make up for 1 loss. That's a pretty good positive expectancy terms of trading. And we've learned, I think, with a tough couple of ones over the last couple of months, that it's important to take those losses. We are in a roll situation right now on our put side. We rolled it out to this coming Monday. It's been a good trade for us. Gold ladders have been fantastic this year. Everybody loves the DIA ladders, but our gold ladders have actually been producing as good, if not better, rates of return. And these ladders are easier to adjust if need be than the DIA ladders. We just haven't really had to adjust the DIA ladders lately, so people are very excited about them. So anyway, it's been a solid trade. Our goal on the gold ladders is 1.5% return a week, 6% a month, about 70% a year. We're ahead of that number. We're beating that pro forma number right now. So very happy with that. Overnight vampire trades, we had another one. Successful. Haven't been putting a lot of capital into these as of late because IV has been so low, so expected moves are really tight, so the risk reward is not great. But 9 winners and 1 loser there. We didn't need to use any hedging or adjusting on this last overnight trade. We have had to. Our numbers look great, right? 9 winners, 9 winners out of 10 total trades, but 4 of those 9 winners needed help. They needed hedging and adjusting. This last one just kind of coasted into profit zone. Broken wing butterflies, we did a couple more of those, and I would imagine that this week should present some opportunities to do some more. Those have a unique risk-reward ratio. They're not always practical to do, but when you find the setup, and again, we're talking about creating edge in what you do, those are nice trades to do. Our oil ladders, we're in a little bit of a different situation here on our oil ladder where we're not really doing ladders anymore. We've taken a short assignment on the oil contract, so we're trading oil to the downside, and we're cash flowing it with puts. So we'll have to kind of figure out a different way to maybe talk about this trade. It is generating for us almost $200 a day in income. I did want to talk with you guys, put a video together about 3 of our trades. You know, we do so many trades. We've got 3 of our trades right now. Oil is one of them that is generating approximately $700 a day of income for us. The Theta Ferry is one. It's generating $100 a day pretty consistently for us. The oil trade is another. It's generating $200 a day of income for us. And then the NQ trade inside of the portfolio margin is another one. It's generating $200 a day for us. But I wanted to put a video together on those specific trades. But the oil trade right now, bringing in about $200 a day, almost $1,000 a week of income off of that trade. And it's about, I'm looking at my, well, it's not showing correctly. I think that it is about a $19,000 investment. So it's been a good trade for us. The in-the-money cover trades, it's so hard to pick a favorite and say one trade is better than another because they all have their own unique attributes. But if someone was going to start trading brand new and they're like, you know what, I just don't want to lose money. Like, I just want to do the safest setups I can do. I would probably say, hey, learn the pairs trades and learn the in-the-money cover trades. From a Sharpe ratio standpoint, they're probably going to be your safest trades. So check those out. They've been fantastic for us. 55% to 135% APR on these trades. That's what we're generating on these trades. So it'll be interesting. We've got a handful of them that we do every single week. It'll be interesting at the end of this year to see what the APR on those are. Trading binary ideas. We love these. These are so fun. If you ever want to look at really creating an edge in your trading, this is a good place to look right here. And again, we strive pretty diligently here to have trading opportunities, trading ideas for people that you can't get somewhere else. So we love the trading binary ideas. Our short portfolio is pretty much done at this point. We're just focusing on bear market trades, but that was a great small portfolio. Again, I love shorting. I love trading to the downside. Insider trades. This is a new system that we've just developed. Well, it's something that I've been doing for a while, but it is tracking the SEC Form 4's filings that are on EDGAR that are public information for insider trades from highly compensated individuals, CEOs, CFOs, CMOs, people like that inside their companies. Are they buying their stock? Are they selling their stock? There's a lot of reasons that insiders in a company will sell their company's stock. Maybe they need liquidity, estate planning issues, you name it. Maybe they need to buy a house. But there's only one reason they buy their stock. And that's because they believe in the company and they believe it's a good value. And theoretically, no one should know a company better than its CEO. So we track those filings and we trade off of those. We've only done 2 of them so far. One of them is a winner and the other one looks really good, but we haven't taken it to fruition yet. So again, we love to build ideas for you guys that you can go trade that you can't get anywhere else, that you're not going to find these setups anywhere else. Commodity trades, it is really, really tough. Of everything that we do here, it's really tough to find anything that has a better rate of return potential than a commodity trade. It is really, really hard. The leverage that they create is amazing. And I love commodity trades because, number one, they're non-equity correlated. If the market crashes tomorrow, oil does not care about that. Wheat does not care about what the Dow Jones Industrial Average did today. So it gives you good diversification. Number 2, the rates of return are fantastic. Number 3, all it is supply demand. You want to trade wheat? You're like, I don't know about wheat. The same results, the same reports that Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan get, Bank of America gets, Merrill Lynch gets, you can get at the exact same time. There's no insider information. You don't need a Bloomberg terminal to be able to get access to the same information that the Wall Street pros are trading these with, and it's just supply demand. That's all it is. You want to trade Tesla? Great. You got sales numbers to worry about. You've got quarterly profit earnings results to worry about. You've got the worry every single day that Elon is going to tweet something that may affect the stock. You've got the U.S. government suing them at any given time for this or that. So many factors that come into play in terms of whether or not you can make a good decision on trading stocks. But commodities, it's just supply demand. That's all it is. Love those trades. They're not easy. They're not easy. About 6 out of every 10 that we do, we need to roll before we get it to profit, but it has been a successful process for us. The ATM program, our asymmetric trading method, is so stoked on this. We have had a couple of challenges this year. We got caught up in the banking scandal. We were long banks when regional banks came down. We got caught a little short in the AI boom when all of these AI stocks, tech stocks pushed up. So we've had a few fits and starts this year. But again, this is a long-term investing passive asset allocation model. I told everybody, just relax. And I think you'll be pretty happy at the end of the year. Of course, we crushed the market in 2021. We crushed the market last year in 2022. And, we're up more than 30% right now over the market. I would say that's a crush. That's pretty close to a crush. But we're doing really well once again. We're beating the market once again. If I will just say this once again, if you have a passive investing account, this is not trading. This is passive. It takes 5 minutes a day. Put your money, make your allocations each day. It takes 5 minutes and you're done. Okay. If you're interested in an investing program, I would love to see what you're doing that beats the dual fold mandates that we have in the ATM program, which is number 1, beat the S&P 500 consistently year over year. Number 2, do it at less risk, less standard deviation. Okay. You can show me a passive investing program that you're using. I'd love to see it just because I'd like to see what they're doing. Because last year we beat every single hedge fund, every publicly recorded hedge fund that records their return. We beat every single one in the world last year, except for 2. So we're pretty proud of the ATM program. All right, so let's talk about returns here. Again, I apologize. I said this was going to be a little bit longer video. Let's talk about returns. Okay, last 3 weeks. So this is September 3rd through the 9th. And the total profit for me for this week was $17,234 profit. Now, this was absolutely stellar because if you remember, this was a shortened holiday week, so we didn't have Monday to trade. So this was absolutely stellar, $17,000 profit. That was on, that was on approximately $270,000 of buying power. Okay, so that equated to about a 6.3% return for the week and about 330% APR if you annualize it. This was a stellar week. Number one, we had a shortened week. I will say we tried to build trades and set up situations where we can make about 5% a week. That's kind of our goal. If everything went picture perfect for us, we would make 5% a week on our capital. That's plenty, guys. That's 20% a month, 240% a year, okay? That's ideal. That's like picture perfect. So we rarely ever hit that. So to say that this week was phenomenal, it was phenomenal, okay? Again, a shortened week, well above our 5% goal. 17 grand in my pocket. It was a great week. Okay. 2 weeks ago, so now we're talking September 17th through the 23rd. The profit was $7,155 was my dollar profit for the week. Okay. That was on about $262,000 of buying power. That equated to a 2.73% return or a 142% annualized rate of return. So it was a solid week. I always look at this as a solid week. If I can get more than I'm shooting for 5% a week, but that's an ideal week. If I can get 2% a week, that's 8% a month, almost 100% a year. You only need to double $2,000 9 times to turn it into $1 million. You don't need more than 2% a week. Okay. So that was 2 weeks ago. Last week, which was, I'm sorry, I did the dates on this wrong. This should have been September 10th to September 16th. I knew that I was looking at those wrong. Last week, of course, was September 17th through the 23rd. Sorry about my horrible handwriting. So on that, on last week's results, my profit for the week was $3,981 on $347,000 of buying power. So it was a 1.14% return, or 59.6% APR, annualized rate of return. Last week was a tough week. Okay, Monday made 26.47, solid start to the week. Tuesday, nasty, down 13,269. Wednesday, very excited, looked like I was going to recover all of that and then some more. I was up $14,000 plus. Right at the close, we gave almost half of it back. So Wednesday, up 6,321. It's okay though, right? Working our way back. Thursday, down another 13,827. But those were rolled 0 DTEs. Felt very comfortable about them. They didn't work on Thursday, but I was very comfortable going into Friday with those. It paid off for us. Friday was a $22,109 day. So September 17th through 23rd was a tough week for me. It was a tough week. I aged a little last week, but I still made almost $4,000. I put almost $4,000 in my pocket and made a return of almost 60% annualized rate of return. So there will still be questions, right, on our results. As many of you know, I used to do training classes for Robert Kiyosaki and Tony Robbins on their on their stock market investing training programs. And so I've worked with hundreds of thousands of people, over 150,000 people all across the world over a decade. And each one of these classes, we would survey them at the end and say, how did it go? How did you feel about the class? Nobody ever filled out their form at a 5, 1 to 10. Was it life-changing, number 10, or was it a complete waste of time, number 1? Nobody filled out a 5. Nobody said, it's all right. People would either say it was absolutely life-changing. What you provided me, the information that you taught me was absolutely life-changing. Or they would mark it a number 1 and say, this is the biggest waste of time that I have ever experienced. I cannot believe I wasted 3 days of my life with you learning this scam BS crap. But there was never anything in between. And I had a hard time reconciling that for a really long time until I talked to Robert Kiyosaki about it. And he said, Scott, you have to understand that those people that are marking it a 1, those naysayers, the haters, if you will, those are people that are, it's not about you, it's about them. They're having challenges in their lives. When they see other people being successful, it makes them feel even worse about their limitations. And they're not expressing anger towards you. They're expressing anger towards themselves. And that helped me a little bit. It happens here too. There's no other way that I can go over our results. I've showed you our win-loss ratios. I've showed you our dollar profit amounts. We've looked at it as a percentage basis. We've APR'd it for you. And I think any way you slice it, it comes up looking, to me, life-changing. I mean, it's life-changing to me, but there are still naysayers out there. So the biggest thing that I can tell you guys is verify it for yourself. Verify it for yourself. You can come into our trading room, and if you go through all of our 4 hours of training, if you meet one-on-one with me and set up a strategy session, if you check in with me daily about how your results are going and are they meeting my results, are they off, are they close, and you don't get to the end of your first month's subscription and think it's the most amazing trading community you've ever been a part of, I'll give you a 200% refund on your month's subscription. Twice your money back, double your money back. We've never had anybody take us up on that if they actually put the effort in. You do have to put some effort in. Trading is not a get-rich-quick scheme. So anyway, if you want to check it out, here's how I would verify this. Jump into our live trading community. Go to tradelivewithus.com, jump into our live trading community. There's 400 trading members in there. You can talk with each and every one of them and say, is the numbers that Scott talks about real, or is this fake? Where can I go here in your trading room to see the timestamps and verify the results for myself? There's no reason for you to sit home on your couch wondering if trading can work for you. We have a documented program here. So again, there's no guarantees in the marketplace, but I think we have the opportunity that you're looking for as a trader. Love to connect with you guys. If you want to talk with me, you can go to scottstewartcontacts.com. You can find all of my contact information there. That's an easy way to get a hold of me. If you are just not quite in a position yet to jump into our live trading room and trade with us on a daily basis, but you have trading questions and you want to try to up your game a little bit, you can go ask me a question if you'd like at askyourtradingquestions.com, and you can submit your questions there, and I can interact with you on sort of a mini mentoring basis. And I'm going to put up another video on this here shortly as well. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you. I appreciate my ability and opportunity that I have to interact with the trading community. I hope you guys are getting good results out of your trading. I do believe in what Zig Ziglar says, that you can get everything in life that you want if you just help enough other people get what they want. So thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Sorry this video was a little bit longer than normal, but hopefully that gives you some insight into how we are doing, and it gives you the ability to go verify it with 300 or 400 of our trading community members and ask them directly, whether or not these results are real. Take care, guys. Hope you have a good trading week. We'll see you, if you are in our trading room, we'll see you brand new tomorrow morning in our Zoom.